to go all in sometimes. And I'm not talking about gamble in a literal sense where you go into the casino. I'm talking about really, really going out on a limb on behalf of you. I want you to hear that. Going out on a limb on behalf of you. One of the things that, you guys have heard me talk about a lot on this call, and I want to pose this as a question because I really, really want you to think about this. I really want you to take your time and take this in. Is it really a risk when you're betting on you? If things a lot of times begin to feel risky, to you, it's because you haven't come to the fullness of who you are yet. You're afraid to believe fully in who you are. Because a lot of times, believe it or not, guys, I've been past the phase of when I take on things that I'm looking at it as a risk, especially when it's things that I can control the results that I'll get, meaning that by doing the activity that it takes, because I'm knowing what I'm made of. Many of you guys, you should have that same philosophy and principle that you flow with. Hey, hold on. No, it's not really a risk because I'm believing in me. I know who I am. I know what I'm capable of. I know what it is that I can do. When you get to that type of mindset, that's when things go to the next level for you. See, most people haven't arrived at that point to where now they are believing in themselves, so when they take something on, it's not really a risk. You're risk averse. Now, let me be honest and let me share this with you. You have to get to a point in your life where you can take risk. When I say take risk, I'm not meaning just go after something that's risky, meaning that you have the stamina, you have you're built to be able to stand risk. You can stomach it. You see, some people haven't gotten to that point in their lives yet because they've always been afraid. You guys have heard me use this quote by Les Brown. It's one of my favorite quotes I've ever heard from Les Brown. And one of the things he said was, he says, I'm so tired of seeing people die at the age of 21 and they don't get buried until they're 65. In other words, people have given up. People have given up on risk, taking chances, on going after things. Like many of you guys, you may have a ministry you were supposed to start that you've been afraid or you've been procrastinating on. Many of you guys, it's a business that's been placed inside of you. It's a nonprofit. It's different things that you should be stepping out on. You should be aggressive about it. But because you're so afraid, or you're mapping everything out behind the worst case scenario, what could possibly happen, you're afraid to move forward. You're paralyzed mentally. You're paralyzed in terms of when it comes to your vision. No, guys, you got to be willing to go all in. You got to be willing to put your money where your mouth is to be able to make things happen for you to take things to the next level. One of the things for us personally, right? We've become risk averse way, way back as a young man. As a young man, guys, I mean, risk begin to be minimal to me. Meaning when I take things on, I go after things, I already know the type of time, energy, and diligence and work ethic I'm going to put into what it is that I'm doing. Things that I'm unwilling to do that with, I don't take on. If I'm knowing I'm not going to give it the type of energy that's needed, I'm not going to do an injustice to the person that I may be potentially collaborating with. I want to be transparent and honest with them and be able to say to them, hey, listen, this probably won't work for me because I can see where this thing may go wrong and I'm unwilling to take the risk that may be required. But one of the things that you have to learn to do is say, hey, hold on, listen, I got to get to the point because you don't want to live your life. Man, here's the deal. Every last person on this phone that's under the sound of my voice, you're constantly getting older. You're constantly getting older. The one thing you should want to do is live your life with regrets. You should want to live your life saying that I was supposed to do this. I was supposed to start a home for girls and help them out and help them grow and mentor them, and I never did it. Because you're thinking always money is stopping you. Money is the last thing that a lot of times you have to worry about. When you come to people with your act together, meaning that you have things outlined, you have things written out, you're not just shooting from the hip, you have projections, you have a vision of where you're going. Guys, do you realize how easy it is for people to believe in and buy into your vision? Sometimes they can't collaborate with you because there is no vision that you're presenting. There is nothing that you're giving them to work off of or work with to you. So guess what? A lot of times they see that as a risk because you don't have your act together and understand where you're going and where it is you want to take things to. One of the things for me was this. Guys, risk has never been a challenge for me. I'm talking about since I was a young man, probably in my early 20s. You know, I know there was times, I would come home and kind of be like, oh, my goodness, he's into this. Oh, my goodness, he's into that. Because as a young man, you were finding your way. You were finding your way in terms of business, surviving. You need to feed your family. So there were things you were always willing to go after. And believe it or not, guys, did I win at everything that I touched? No. There were many businesses we lost at. There were many things where money was lost. There was many things that time was lost. There was many things we didn't get the results that we wanted. But you know what was happening in that process? It was making me immune to taking chances, to where now taking chances became second nature. Believe it or not, guys, when we had something stable, when we had something, when things were a set, stable thing for me, it felt uncomfortable. I remember we're still here in Florida, right, enjoying beautiful Florida and everything. But I remember Miss Crump, right, we were passing an area about 2 days ago. And it was an area that I was consulting for a company down in Pembroke Pines, Florida. And I remember Miss Crump said to me, she said, remember we were over there and we were talking. I was like, yeah. And we remember these people had an office for us, and it was a beautiful glass building, glass office, and they had the palm trees were right outside the office. And I want you guys to understand something. These people were giving us $20,000 a month to consult for them. $20,000 a month. And I mean, they had me in this big corner office, and I remember her coming down from Atlanta to visit, and she said to me, she was like, you're miserable. You're miserable. And the reason being is, guys, and I mean, there wasn't a lot we had to do. There wasn't a lot you had to do. You had to do what's needed, get some systems and different things up and work it for them, which we knocked out pretty much as soon as we got there. So the rest of the time was just kind of just taking it easy. But for her, she saw it, and she was right. She was dead on. Because for me, guys, I love the excitement and the stimulation of business. I love the excitement and stimulation of challenge, of the challenge of going for it and going after it. The point I'm making is because I want the results that was ordained for me. I don't want the results that somebody wants to give to me. I want the results for my life that was ordained for me, not the results that somebody wants to give to me. I want to live my life to the fullest. And a lot of times, if you're going to do anything to the fullest, if you're going to live your life to the fullest, it's going to cause for you it's going to call for you taking risks. It's going to cause for you taking chances that you wouldn't believe. I remember one of the biggest risks I took, right? I got out of the United States military. I was 21 years old. I went in when I was 18. I was 21 years old. And first of all, I salute all of our veterans, and I salute all of our retired, because we have many retired veterans that's a part of this company that we honor and salute. And I remember the captain of our warship, Captain Wyman Howard, who came down to the berthing as I was packing my clothes. I'm putting all my stuff in my sea bag. And I mean, the captain, I've never saw the captain of the ship come down when nobody was leaving. Never, ever, ever. That was my first time seeing him. He came down to the ship. Demond, why are you leaving, son? You have such a promising military career. I told him, I said, sir, I can't see giving you guys 30 years of my life and I don't get a chance to own a part of this. I was 21 years old at the time. Wasn't nothing wrong with retirement. Literally right now, I would have 3 more years before 30 years would be up. So in 2024 would be my 30 years. that I would have been able, obviously you can retire 20 years, but I'm saying 30 years I'm in and I'm out full-blessed, retired, whatever goes on with that. But I saw something different for my life. And I was willing to risk it. I was willing to go out and take the chances, because one of the things that I want you guys to understand is that I wanted my freedom. See, freedom is very, very important, especially as you begin to get older. You don't want to be in the hunt and the scrap for, number one, how I'm going to pay my bills, how I'm going to figure things out. No, I'm willing to go all in. I'm willing to push all in every single time, and I would do it again and again and again for the shot at being free for the rest of my life. To be able to come and go as you please. You don't have to worry about your bills or any situations. To be able to, do the things that you want to be able to get to do with your family. But guys, you got to understand, to be able to accomplish a lot of those things, it's going to come with risk, because everybody's not going to be able to be in the military and retire. Some of you guys, you're too old to go into the military now. Some of you guys, you may have a field that you're in that doesn't come with retirement. So the point that I'm making to you is this: what are you going to do in reference to getting you and your family where it is you want to be? It's never too late to take risks. And here's what I mean when I say take risks. Guys, I'm not saying to you, go out and do nothing crazy. Go invest in something crazy. But what are you willing to do different outside of the box in reference to what you normally do to gain that freedom? To be able to be in control. That was always important to me as a young man. I'm talking about as a 21-year-old man. I knew that I wanted my freedom. I wanted to be able to control my time. I didn't want anybody telling me what my time was worth. I wanted to make sure that I was in control of that. So I was willing to do the things that it took. I knew a lot of people, right? I want you to hear this. A lot of people don't like sales when I love sales. The reason why I love sales is because of the commission aspect. When you can make as much money as you want. See, that was a thing that attracted me when I started finding, so if I'm selling, I can make as much money as I want. If I'm selling a product or service or whatever it is that I'm doing in the sales arena, where people was running from it because they wanted the stability of an income to know, I'm making, $1,000 a week and $4,000 a month. My bills are covered. Oh, awesome, great. No, I didn't want to live in that box. Listen to what I'm saying to you guys. I want you to hear me again. I want everything that's ordained for my life. Every penny, every drop while I'm living here. I don't want what's ordained for your life. So don't get mad at me if, he talking that rich talk. No. I'm not talking about for you. If you're saying, hey, my life is good, man, I'm able to pay my bills, I got a beautiful home, beautiful car, man, I commend you. You have gotten what you wanted out of life. I have bigger goals and bigger dreams. There's a lot more I want to do. As I always tell you guys, I got seeds I want to sow. I got big checks I want to write. I got checks that's written out, that's in my closet, in my home, that I get a chance to see every single day. I got $1 million checks written out. I got $100 million checks written. In other words, what I'm saying is, it's things that I want to be able to do. And if I'm going to accomplish many of the things that I want to be able to accomplish, you ready for this? No risking, no biscuit. There's going to be times that I'm going to have to risk a lot of things to be able to get where we are. Do you all realize that we risked it again from the transition we made from the last company to this one? We had to start all over again from ground zero, where many people, they backed away. There's many people. Some of y'all have been trying to talk to them. Some of you guys have been communicating with some of these people, and they don't want budge. They don't want to entertain this again. They don't want to entertain this. Why? Because their risk barrier, it's too high for them to be like, oh no, come at this again. Well, guys, you got to realize we didn't think twice about it. Were we hurt in the process? Absolutely. Were there times where you were discouraged? Absolutely. But it has nothing to do with stopping us from being able to move forward. We were willing to go all in again, right back to back, because we knew things could be done the right way. And here's what we knew too, guys. when you're believing and betting on yourself, there was no risk. That's the part that people don't know. Guys, was it discouraging? Absolutely. Guys, was it times it was tough? Absolutely. And there was times, man, how are we going to see our way out of this? Absolutely. It was all those times. But were we ever at a point doubting that it could work? Once we were able to get things going in the right direction? Not one time. Because I was never afraid to bet on myself. I knew what we were capable of. I knew what we needed to do. I knew how it needed to be done. So it didn't even feel like a risk. I told you all this. Many people that have came to the behind the curtain training, I've shared this with you all. Some of you guys have forgotten this. I said network marketing, direct sales, however you want to put it, network marketing, direct sales is going to knock your guts out. You have to know how to put them back in. I'm going to say that again. Network marketing, direct sales, it's going to knock your guts out. You have to know how to put them back in. In other words, this industry is going to test you to your extremities, guys. It's going to bring you to places within yourself that you didn't know exist. It's going to bring you to challenges that you didn't know you had to face. All this is going to happen. Don't let nobody lie to you. Don't let nobody tell you it's going to be easy, especially when you're dealing with people, especially when you're dealing with any aspect that may have a little recruiting aspect to it. Don't ever fool yourself, right? It's going to test you to your extremities. But that person that's able to put their guts back in, they're going to conquer this dragon. And this industry is going to reward you. It can reward you beyond belief. And I knew these things. I knew we were taking the risk the way we set everything up. Because guess what? We didn't do it catered to traditional direct sales. You got to beg leaders to come in. You got to give leaders all these deals. You got to do all these different things to move your company forward. No, guys, we were intentional. So we took a risk in the concept that we had. I've never been in a company, never, ever, never, in my, this year be 15 years being in this industry. I've never, ever been in a company, I want you to hear this, where customer focus was number one. Everything was always about recruiting. Everything was always about one on the left, one on the right. I'll make a list. Contact all your family friends. Get them on this webinar. Get them on this call. You better get in now. Get your position. Take your position of equity. And all this, when you come in first, all these people coming after you going to be behind you. All this stuff. All this stuff that over the years that you've been dealing with. Their primary focus, every company I've ever sat down with, every company I've ever consulted for, the primary focus was recruiting your family, friends, and associates. It never was a focus on the end user. Actually getting a product to the person, meaning that it's not about getting people to join your company. It's not. You join, you want to join. You don't. Our primary focus is getting to that customer, to that end user. That is what's going to sustain your company long term. The only thing that can sustain momentum is customers. How many of you guys, I want you to think about it. The only thing that prevents manipulation is validation. No problem. I want to ask y'all a serious question. Everybody that's listening, here's my question I want to ask you. You guys have been in direct sales companies, right? What happened to those companies after you ran out of all the people that you was in? What happened to that company or that product after you ran through your phone, you ran through your social media, you put up 1,000 posts every day, getting people to get on your webinars or talking about your product, shoot your videos? What happened after you ran through all of that? The opportunity is done. It's over with. Because you didn't actually go into a company focused on a product or a service that you was honestly looking to get to the end user. See, you have to realize, guys, I took a risk with the way that I saw it and went after it and was willing to stick to my guns, because I want you to realize a lot of times when companies are starting, you got to hear this part. The recruiting aspect brings in the money fast, which sustains the company. It helps the company survive. Then after about 12 to 18 months, when you just can't come up with no more recruiting schemes, you can't give out no more bonuses, you just can't do any more trips where people are not feeling it anymore, right? Because now people are going back to the same people over and over. That's usually when a company begins to fall apart. But the owner of the company has already won. He won from the beginning. When that money was able to come in, he was able to save. So if the company closed, he happy. Because now he's going off into the sunset with his millions of dollars. And now you're looking for your next deal or your next company. We were saying, no, guys, we don't want to be set up that way. I would rather take my time and build into it slow so we can have longevity and true residual income so we can build into the fact of what it is that we're doing. I was talking to, actually, me and my friend Wayne and all, we were laughing, Donnie Howard, right? Donnie and I I saw Donnie. Donnie looked amazing on that yacht. Y'all, Donnie had his double-breasted white suit on, was clean on that boat, and we were talking, and I was introducing Donnie, and I'm telling him who Donnie was. I'm like, man, this guy, you're rocking and rolling. First of all, Donnie don't realize why I'm so happy for Donnie and Glenda Howard. Number one, to see the money that they're making now. I knew them in the industry. I met them in the industry when they weren't making it. But now they've always been well off because they had good jobs and everything. But we're talking about in terms of this industry. And Donnie said on the boat when we was making the introduction, he was like, man, I'm a happy camper. And we all started laughing, in terms of that, because what he's saying is, guys, hey, man, I'm finally winning. I'm finally in the place to where we're winning. We can see the results of our labor. And Donnie, I already know how this thing works, this system. Guys, there's not a lot that none of y'all are doing to get the income that y'all getting. And many of y'all got paid this morning, right before the call. That many of you guys are doing for it. You probably never made, I don't care if it's $100 you got. I don't care if it's $150. I'm not talking about the people that's gotten the $1,500 to $2,000, $2,500 checks this week. That's not what I'm talking to. Even the small amounts. The question I'm asking you is, what did you really do to get it? In other words, it's the residual aspect that's taking place. That's the important part I want you to see and understand. That's the part that I wanted you to wrap your mind around, because remember, no risk it, no biscuit. That's what we risked it all for. We risked it all for the residual aspect. For the first time in my life, I wanted to see residual income coming in for me and the people that was associated with it. Money that you can depend on. Once again, whether it's money for a bill that you pay every month with the money you're receiving. Some of you guys, you're able to pay your mortgages. Some of you guys are paying for your car notes. Some of you guys, you're able to pay all your bills with the money that come in from this $6 product that just so happens to be a necessity. These are things that we wanted you to see. This is what Bruce Arians is talking about when he's saying no risk and no biscuit. Meaning that for the thing that you believe in, for the thing that you want to go after, what are you willing to risk to be able to see the results? Because guess what, guys? There are a lot of people that can't get past the risk barrier. Everybody has a risk thermometer, right? Everyone has a risk thermometer that's within them. Most people, when they get to that gut feeling, when you cringing, you afraid, oh my goodness, this is my rent money, this is my, oh my goodness, and I gotta go all in. You begin to cringe up. Where there's sometimes in life, for some of us, for some people who not in, real fortunate situations financially, you have to take the chances and get to where it is you want to go. There's going to be some times where you're going to be forced. You have to believe in yourself for you to truly get the results that you're looking for. And you have to go all in and you have to go for it. That's right. You're going to have to have that. And what begins to happen is your risk barrier, it gets higher and higher and higher till you get to the point to where you're immune to it. It doesn't scare me to take a risk. Do you guys realize But we believed in ourselves. We knew the product was new. You guys don't realize this. Many of the diamonds in the bar, remember, you guys had a chance to see some things, some numbers, and all that while you were here in Florida. We showed you guys intimately exactly what's going on. So you guys know what I'm talking about. But you don't realize we didn't get there without taking a risk. Because when people were barking and screaming, oh, we're going to be prop shit, we were dumping money into inventory. I'm talking about when the virus was heavy, when it was holiday season, we were dumping money like crazy into inventory because we knew, number one, we got to get out this part. When the ports were jammed up and there was a shortage of containers. See, none of this stuff y'all knew about. Y'all didn't have to deal with this detail. All you knew is, hey, Friday, my check came. Oh, my customer got their product. I got my commission. The product is moving. Oh, my goodness, I'm so happy. But you didn't realize what was going on behind the scenes and how we were needing to double down on inventory to make sure that we can make it through the season, make it through that period where it was going to be tough, to where you don't miss a beat into playing, losing on our margins, right, to make sure that everything stays the same for you. And still right now to this day, getting that formula airtight to where now, it all came from a risk that we took at that time. When it was times when now the manufacturer was pulling out, because they had to make PPE stuff for the government. You guys are not knowing all this. You're not knowing us. Well, we had to say, no, we need you to do this now. We'll send the money tomorrow and all these different things that we had to go back and forth to make sure that we was able to stay in the game because, guys, some people got knocked out of the game for 6 months. I don't know if y'all knew this. There were some sanitary napkins and panty liner companies that was out the game for 6 months. They were out the game for 9 months. They were gone. They weren't on the radar. We never missed a beat because we was willing to take the risk because we needed the biscuit. So now, for the diamonds that had the chance to see what they saw, right? Guys, it all came from us taking the risk back then. So to put us in that position where we are now, to where now we're pretty much flowing in the vein to where now we're ahead of the game now. Warehouse is full. Products are on the way. More product is about to be on the way. We're about to place another order to where now it's automatic. But it all came from the point where we were willing to take the risk. Where we were willing to go all in on making sure that we get to the other side. See, what has to happen is your risk barrier, you got to increase it. The only way it increases is you being in a situation where, now listen, I'm not telling you go out and create a risk and take it. So you can be like, oh, I'm increasing my... No, just something that comes your way that you believe in. You want to do it, but you're in doubt. You're afraid to step out on faith. Something that will cause you to step out on faith, guys, to where now it's going to cause you to put some muscle into it. For you to make it happen. For you to really, really get to where it is you want to go. See, the issue, too, with a lot of people who risk, the reason why they're so afraid of it, they're so scared of it. You ready for this? You really don't understand that you putting yourself in a position to win is a lot easier than you think it is. You got to understand that for you, sometimes getting yourself mentally prepared and immune to this, it makes it easier to move forward when things begin to make you feel afraid. Things begin to make you feel uneasy. You got to get to that point. And I'm not talking about this company. Because there's no risk here. I'm sorry, guys. There's no risk here. Our highest package is $250. $30 a month keeps you active. We talking about $30. So we talking about 3 $10 bills. So I'm serious. If you see this as a risk, then I got to be honest with you. You shouldn't be in business with us. This should be. This is nowhere near a risk. This is lunch for some of you all, and I'm talking about a lunch at a sub. You can go out with 2 of your friends and go to a Subway and you can spend $30. By the time you get the meals, the chips, the cookies, and all the stuff you're going to buy, you at $30. So we're talking about a lunch is what it costs monthly to be in business with us. So I don't see no risk over here. We're saying getting your risk barrier up. So that way things that you see in your life, opportunities, you're able to take advantage of them and you're not so scared because you're always thinking of failure or you're always, how can I say, you're conditioned to stay in the state that you're in of barely getting by. No, guys, I'm sorry. I never wanted to barely get by. That didn't work good for me. I did that mindset of barely making it. I'm sorry. That didn't work for me. That don't work for me. That's why I was willing to take chances. That's why I was willing to go for it. Guys, I was willing to, if it means I'm going to lose, I'm going to start all over again. But I'm not going to settle for me sitting here and just barely getting by, just barely making it. It's me. Oh, I hope everything be all right. Man, I got to, scrap to keep paying my light bill. I don't want to live like that. You shouldn't want to. But you got to put a little risk in your recipe for something you want to go after that's going to take you out of that comfort zone that you're in. You got to go for it. And you got to go for it. And guess what? Be willing to lose. And if losing is the worst case scenario, then guess what, guys? I can start all over and do it again. Because there's been many losses on ours. And everything hasn't been victorious. As I said before, I'm not afraid to say that. I'm not afraid to mislead you. But here's what I can tell you. Boy, if your risk barrier is high enough to where you're able to get to the other side, man, your life is going to change beyond your belief. I can tell you that part. The freedom that's going to come with your life is going to be beyond belief. That's why we're setting everything up the way we're setting it up for you are. That's why we got the Welcome Center set up for you all, so it can be autopilot. That's why we got videos that people can go look at, so it can be autopilot. I'm sorry, guys. It doesn't need to be a super duper training. Really, a lot of times when it's 6-star university, it's just really set up so you can hear the voice of the leaders. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know what the TG, I don't know what the General and Norman Ray and all these powerhouses that get on these calls, Pastor Thomas and these guys, I don't really know what they're going to be getting on there all the time telling you. Here's what I'm saying. That's going to be special to where this, you ready for this? It's going to make you go do something different. It's really reinforcement. This is what it is, guys. It's reinforcement of your belief in what it is that you're doing. I don't know what they could really make up to tell you how to go sell a sanitary napkin or panty line. I'll be honest with you all. I don't know what they could tell you. I don't know what way they could put it together to tell you that to make you move in that arena. I don't. The thing that I do see the purpose of is them getting on, showing you that it's working, edifying a vision. You can see the results through them. I see that aspect of it. It's the simplistic part of it. But the reason why most people can't move is because risk. Anything that seems outside of their norm is a risk to them. Anything. Outside of me waking up, doing my regular routine, if there's anything outside of that, it's a risk. Get that barrier increased. So you got to be able to dominate the risk aspect for you to get the results that you truly desire. I'm talking about within yourself. You got to conquer that giant. You got to get to the point where you conquer that giant. And listen, not just about talk. Stop all that talking. Are you willing to put your money where your mouth is? See, always people, I want you to understand something. They always got people that talk till it comes time for the money. I cut the check. Now, it turns out they're not who they say they are. Or they're unwilling. They're unwilling to take it to the next level now because there's money involved. See, when you know you're confident in who you are and you're willing to bet on yourself, bring it on. Let's do it. Let's do it. It's going to be easy for me because this is not going to be a risk. You ready for this? Because I know who I am and I know what I'm made of. I need you to really, really understand that. And I really need you to know how important it is. In order for you to get to the other side, your rite of passage is you are going to have to dominate, right, the risk aspect that you're afraid of that's within you to get the results that you're looking for in your desire. You got to slay the dragon to get your fullness. You are going to have to slay the dragon. And here's the deal. I want you to hear what I'm about to say. Don't try to place your risk off on other people. What do you mean by that? No. Don't try to make it easy by you placing a risk off on other people, meaning that you want somebody else to take on the burden to see your vision through. No, you be willing to go on it and make sure that it happens. You want somebody else now, and you want them to take on everything to get it done. And no. You do what it takes. You make the sacrifices to take it to the next level. If they're there with you, blessings. Great. But I'm willing to go if nobody else comes with me. Because what people love to do is you want to create these visions. You want to create these ideas. You want to put stuff together. You want to show it to us. You want to share it with us. And you want us to actually run with what it is you share. No, where your skin in the game at? Because I can promise you guys, I want you to hear me well. I will never again in my life move or do anything with anyone that don't have skin in the game. No, you can send all the proposals you want. You can sell all the great ideas you want. Until I see where your skin is in the game at and you're all in, then you don't need to look for us to go all in. Because I'm realizing, no, you want to protect your risk exposure and you want us completely exposed. I want you to hear this for an idea that you created. For something you want to do. No, let me see where your skin is in the game at. Let me see how involved you are. Let me see how dedicated you are to this vision. Let me really see how much you believe. Let me see it. Let me see how much you believe. And then I'll know how far we need to go. You got to get to the point where you're saying to that giant within you that keeps you afraid, that you keep running from, that risk factor. No, I'm willing to take it on. I'm willing to get to the point where I want to be free in my life. I want to do the things in life that I want to be able to do. No, I want to be able to run the ministry that I've been called to do. I want to be able to fund it. I want to be able to finance it. See, for me, I want you to hear this. I've never been the type of guy that wanted to solicit people to give me money for things I believe in. No, there have been times in my life where I needed people to sow a seed, and there people have done it. People have been a blessing to our life. So don't take out of context what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm explaining to you. I've never been the type of guy that always wanted somebody to give me something to make it easy for me. No, I'm wired to figure it out. And now somebody comes along the way and just so happen to be a blessing to me on that journey. Absolutely, I'm going to take it. I love it, and I'm thankful for it. But I need you to understand how important it is for you to know. No, man, listen, I'm willing to go into this, and I'm willing to make it happen, and I'm willing to go no matter who's going or coming with me. Do you guys realize when we even started this company, I had an idea who would come, but in my heart of hearts, God, I never sat there and held one person feet to the fire that they got to make this move with us. I was prepared if I had to start from scratch, if I literally had to go out and meet new people to get this thing done, if I had to deal with customers one-on-one myself to get this product to them, I was prepared to do it. That's how far in my mind that I had went to make sure that this thing works and that we win. That's the mindset that you have to possess. You have to get to the point where you're saying, no, man, I don't want to live in barely enough land. I don't want to just be comfortable. I want to get everything that's ordained for me. That's the life you should want to live. Because everybody, I don't believe God had anybody come onto this earth and there wasn't more than enough stored up for them. I don't believe that. I don't believe you were put in a struggle and barely make it. I don't believe that. I'm sorry. I mean, and we may get into, oh, no, just being, I don't believe that. I believe that there were enough that was ordained for everybody. And there is an amount put up for your life. Now, here's what I'm saying. I believe this. If you don't take advantage of it, it's going to be passed on to somebody else who can do something with it. I do believe that. So what I'm saying is, no, I want to go after everything that was ordained for my life. I want to be pushed outside of my comfort zone. I want to go for it. And a lot of times, these risks, they don't even feel like risks to. It feels easy when the other person may be looking at it as a risk because I'm seeing where we're going and what can possibly happen. Oh, we got a new building and 14,000 square feet. Yeah, it was easy to get. I didn't feel anything behind it. You know why? Because I know how we're going, where we're going, and where we're going to. I'm knowing that it's going to be a customer-based facility where we're going to get tons and tons of customers. I'm talking about that's picking up product, whether it be y'all sending them there, they're picking up their product. I'm already knowing it's going to be a storefront. There's a bigger vision. That's going to yield us another, you know what I'm saying, 6 figures plus per month and just walk-in revenue. See, that's a bigger play that we're seeing. So for me, you can't ever get what you're not prepared for. If you're not prepared for something, how can you expect it? How am I keep telling you guys that, hey man, we're gonna be heading to $1 million in money? You keep still seeing us in the same position that we started in. When is gonna be an increase? When you gonna make us believe? So now, when you walk in that building, watch this, guys. When you guys walk in that building on June 5th, you gonna feel it. Oh my goodness, I see they pulling on over here. They putting this thing together. He ain't playing. They really believe him. Exactly. That's what we want you to know. There should be evidence of the vision. There should be evidence that you're real. There should be evidence that you're unafraid to go out on a limb to be able to get the results that you want. Guys, I started this off by saying this. I'm going to close it out by saying this. Man, we talked about no risk and no biscuit. Listen, it shouldn't be. I want you to get to the point where you begin to wire yourself for victory. With anything that you begin to do and get your hands on. Stop always having a loser's mentality. Stop always having a barely making mentality. I want you to understand. You are able to get the results that you believe. I mean, listen, for some of you guys, if it's that big home, if it's $1 million at the bank, if it's that dream car, you can get it. Start your process. Start your process. Stop being so afraid of risk when it comes your way. Stop being so, something that may be outside of your routine or outside of the box, and you're afraid to take it on. Some of you guys with the ministry, you need to be starting. You need to be global. You need to be international. You need to have offices all over the world. Why are you so afraid to move forward? What's holding you back? Oh, I don't have the money. Stop. Money's the least of your worries. There's always people that's ordained to be with you. When we started this company, we didn't have the money. There were ordained people that came into our lives, Quintus and Kevin McDonald, Charles and Janet Watson, Wayne and Shantae Kimball. They got ordained people that's out there for you. Take the journey. Start walking. You'll be shocked. You'll be shocked of how it happened for you. When you truly, truly believe and you're at a point where you're just not going to be denied. If you really be honest about it, many of you guys, you're mentally lazy. You want something to come to you. You want somebody to come knock on your door where you live and tell you, hey, you know what? I know you've been inside thinking about this vision that you have, and you need $100,000, and I want to come drop off $100,000 to you. See, that's how some of you guys think it's supposed to happen. Rather than you being in the mix, going for it. And when you become immune to that, you begin to feel it. It becomes second nature. You don't know nothing but winning. You don't know nothing but making it happen. When you come to the table, there is no losing in the equation. There is none. There is no losing in the equation at all. Because you're able to take what you need and you're able to work with it. the diamonds and above had a chance to see, like I said, exactly where we was, numbers and bank accounts, all these different things they were able to see. They're all those that made it to Florida, right? And as I shared, one of the things I shared, when we were talking in reference to Quintus and Karen McDonald, and one of the things we were sharing was, when they invested what they invested into this vision. And Quintus was coming back to me, hey, man, you need any more money, you let me know. He didn't understand. Man, I just needed to get my foot in the door, and I already knew. Listen, whatever I get to work with, I'm going to take it to the next level. Never returned, never came back for another dime. Never came back for one penny when it was available. Because I wasn't in the comfort zone. I wasn't saying, oh, okay, well, I'm good then. I could mess this money up and play around with this money or start using the money personally on me and my family because we had lost all that we lost from the last business we was in, so we need to recover. We need to patch up. No, guys, I was risking it then. I'm believing in the vision. We'll catch up. I'm already knowing what can happen. I'm already knowing the place that we could be in. I'm willing to take the risk again. I'm willing to go all in. Hold on, man. You don't want to patch your family? Yeah, we're going to get straight along the way. We'll get taken care of as the vision begin to develop, because my thing is, don't ever slay the goose that lays the golden egg, which is Rain Premium Sanitary Napkins and Panty Liners. Take care of that baby, and that baby going to take care of you. I promise you. That was our focus from day one. Still is our focus. Will continue to be our focus, because we want to keep you flowing flawlessly. We want you guys' confidence to be on a high level. Man, you get paid on time. Man, they ship it to your customers like clockwork. Oh, my goodness, man, the corporate office is amazing. We want you to feel victorious being over here. That was the mission from the beginning. And we knew it was going to take sacrifice. It was going to take time. But once we're able to get there, everybody will see the results that they truly desire. Like Bruce Harrigan said, guys, we won a Super Bowl with this concept. No risk it, no biscuit. If you're afraid to go for it, stop wanting the results. Stop wanting the results. I know you see other people out there getting the results in other companies and all that and what they're doing, but you unwilling to take the risk they're willing to take. You unwilling to go as far as they're willing to go. So when you get to the point where you're willing to conquer that giant inside of you, that risk battle that you may see or deal with, until you're willing to slay that dragon, then make sure you're in a position where you understand I won't ever get the results that I'm truly ordained to receive. Tomorrow morning, don't forget, 10 a.m. Eastern, we have our call, Women Exchanging Life Lessons. Make sure that you dial in, plug in. And guys, I'm telling you right now, we're super, super excited about the grand opening of our new building. Can't wait to see those that are registered, those that will be coming out. Expect a good time. Expect a beautiful place. Expect some things we have to show you that you need to see, that many of us have been waiting on. Guys, there's just a lot that we're excited about. We can't thank you enough. Next Wednesday night, do not forget about 6-star universities as these leaders are getting on, inspiring us, keeping us in the game, keeping us focused, keeping us heading in the right direction. On that note, we want you to have a beautiful, beautiful, blessed day. Continue swimming in that golden stream of income. We will see you next Friday. Same line, same time. And once again, to Mr. Amos, brand new all-star out of Pennsylvania, we want to give you a big congratulations and celebrate you, sir. You guys take care. Be blessed.
Goodbye.